Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. This morning we have a very special guest, but first, let's get to the intro. Before we bring our very special guest in, don't forget to go down, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Go subscribe to Custom Life Pro, Cody Askins, and the Insurance Syndicate for Joe. So first, we have a very special guest, Mr. Mike King, the digital marketing manager for Grant Cardone Enterprises. Mr. Mike King.
What up, Sawyer?
What's up?
Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good.
Good day at school?
Yeah.
All right.
Just so if you guys are wondering, if you haven't already figured out, this is a recording because right now I'm at my brother's soccer game. This is the second soccer game. I didn't get to go to his first one, so that's why we're doing this recording. We're doing it this afternoon so I can go to his soccer game. So, thanks for joining still. Do you have any questions for me? Well, first of all, introduce yourself. Where are you from? Where are you right now? How long have you been in your industry? Stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, so like you said, my name's Mike King. Currently, I'm one of the digital marketing managers for Grant Cardone Enterprises. If you don't know who Grant is, you can do a quick Google search. He's a billionaire investor, known for sales training and real estate investing. Worldwide influencer. Just Google him. You'll see a bunch of stuff out there. I live in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and currently I'm just at home, excited to do this podcast with you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. And how long have you been with Enterprises?
Yeah, so I've been with Grant for a little over a year. I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary back in July. But I've been in the marketing industry on and off since I was kind of 15. It's always just been my passion. But before I worked for Grant, I had a small marketing agency that I ran on the side for 4 years. And kind of at the same time, I was in the mortgage industry for 15 years.
What'd you do in the mortgage industry? What did you do in the mortgage industry?
Yeah, so I processed and sold loans to people who were looking to get financing to either buy a house or refinance their home.
Is that stressful?
Yeah, at times. I was kind of in a unique position. Someone in my position may close or handle, let's say, 10 to 20 clients a month if they're lucky. Someone who's like really good may get to like 50 a month. Because of the position I was in, I was handling anywhere from 80 to 100 clients a month. And I did that at that pace for like 10 years. So, yeah, it was super stressful at times, long hours, learned a ton, provided a great lifestyle for me and my family. So very, very grateful for that opportunity while it lasted.
Must be working very hard.
Yeah, a lot of believe it or not, a lot of when things were really crazy, a lot of nights I maybe slept 1 or 2 hours.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but do what you
Um,
got to do.
yeah. So you processed about like 10,000 loans.
Yeah, probably even more than that. You know, probably over probably $2 billion worth of mortgages.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, when you're not doing this and when you're not at school, what do you do for fun?
Um, well, not only baseball, more fishing than baseball right now.
More what?
Fishing,
Oh, okay. What do you fish for?
anything that'll bite.
Spoken like a true fisherman. Do you eat them or just catch them and throw them back?
Both.
What's your favorite kind of fish to eat?
Um, if we're not going for a big meal, I'm gonna go for bluegill or crappie definitely. And if we're going for like a like you like it's gonna be a fun fight, definitely channel catfish.
Okay. Do you do any noodling?
No,
Uh, you know what that is?
yeah. Where you
Okay.
stick your yeah.
Yeah. You like all your fingers, right?
Uh, I want to keep them.
Yeah.
It's gonna help me play baseball.
Yeah, for sure. What position do you play in baseball?
Center field, second base. I'm gonna try out for catcher. I play pitcher, play left field, right field. So a lot of outfield. Yeah.
Yeah. I played a little baseball at one time.
What positions?
Well, I started off as a catcher. As I got older, I was a center fielder, and I always wanted to be a pitcher. But between me and you, I throw super, super slow. I mean, I throw like a wimp. But I didn't know that. In one game, we didn't run out, but my coach was trying to save one of our better pitchers for the next game that we had. So, and he didn't have anyone else to pitch. So he finally gave me a shot. And I got up on the mound and I threw so slow, I struck the first guy out because he wasn't used to seeing the ball come across that slow. So
That
his
happened to
timing was
me.
way off.
The
And then,
pitcher, the pitcher was like a t-ball pitcher. Like I was swinging too fast.
yeah, right. And then I walked three guys in a row. So then that didn't last very long. He had to bring in somebody else.
Well, I won't tell anybody.
Appreciate it.
Um, are you a fisher?
You know, not so much, but I grew up with my grandpa raised me half my life, so he was a big fisherman, so he would always take me out bluegill fishing, perch fishing. Um, so now that I'm older, I don't fish a lot, but I will not pass up a good fish fry.
Um, okay. Let's get to the bigger questions.
Okay.
Um, what are you excited about for 2024?
Man, that's a great question. Wow. Um, Yeah, I guess one of the things I'm super excited for is my son, who's married. Him and his wife are having their first child, so I'll officially be a grandfather in 2024. So excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, what about goals for the rest of 2023 and goals for 24? Business first, and then we can
Okay.
do life goals.
All right. So business goals. So when I started for Grant, um, I wasn't in the position that I'm in. I was in what is called a media buyer's position, which is the person who, when you're on Facebook, for example, and you're scrolling through and you see ads, those are the people that place those ads. They don't create them. They don't do anything. They just place those ads to bring in leads and calls and whatnot. So I was doing that, but on another platform called LinkedIn. And then very quickly, I got promoted to my current position. So I was given a task of, we'll just keep this simple, generating so many leads and sales, or so many leads and calls for the sales team. Um, and I was pretty quickly able to do that. So since I've been successful in that for the rest of 2023, the business line that I'm in charge of, we're trying to add an extra $1 million a month in revenue to that business line.
What business line do you mainly work with?
Yeah, so I'm in charge 100% of the marketing and strategy for Cardone University, which is Grant's flagship sales training company.
If someone wanted to get to that, where would they go?
Yeah, they would just go to cardoneuniversity.com.
Um, we'll put it in the comments. Yeah, we'll put it in the comments later. Um, have you ever had any like embarrassing or funny moments while you were like with somebody with mortgage processing?
Yeah, I'll share an embarrassing and a interesting story. So two stories. So first, an embarrassing story is I was on the phone. Um, so I've worked at home from my home for over 15 years. Uh, so when I first moved into this house here, I set up my desk and I was talking to a very big client on the phone, and my daughter was probably 2 at the time. And this was a very important phone call. And she started screaming and crying in the background, and then decided she was going to run and jump in my lap while I was on the phone, screaming and crying. So I wasn't expecting that. So I had to tell this client that my boss was yelling at me and I needed to put him on hold a minute. So he kind of laughed, and I put him on hold, and then I dealt with my daughter, and then came back to the phone call, and we talked about that a little bit, and he was understanding. He thought it was pretty funny. Um, I didn't think it was so funny at the time, but uh, he understood.
Did you close the deal?
Yeah, I closed the deal.
Was your boss happy with you after that?
Yeah, I mean, my boss was usually pretty happy with me. I only got in trouble one time with my boss.
Um,
Do you want me to tell you the other story?
yeah. I forgot about that one.
Okay, so probably the most interesting uh, deal I had to do is there are very smart people out there. Sometimes they're too smart for their own good. I did a loan for a guy who made $40 million in 1 year, which is a lot of money. He wrote, do you know what an algorithm is?
A little bit.
Okay, so it's like a fancy mathematical computer equation, and he wrote it for this big bank. That's what his job was. So he was so smart that when I sent him the paperwork to sign for this loan that he wanted, we used something called DocuSign, which is an electronic signing application that allows you to sign your paperwork over your phone or on your computer. And it's very simple. It has 3 steps. It has start, and then it asks you to spell your name in a box, and then it creates a signature for you. And then you hit next, and it takes you everywhere on the paper where you're supposed to sign. And then you just hit a button to apply your signature, and then you hit finish when you're done. He could not figure that out to save his life. And he got so angry, he called me on the phone multiple times because he had to sign multiple things during the mortgage process. And every time he would be so frustrated on how to figure out how to work that. And I couldn't understand it because here this guy was super smart and he genius level smart, but he couldn't do something as simple as use a DocuSign application. So
Did you sell that deal?
yeah, we closed that deal too.
What's the biggest mortgage you've ever processed?
Dollars. What made it the biggest mortgage ever?
You
It
broke
was,
up some. Can you repeat?
oh yeah, it was a couple $1 million. But what made it? It was probably the most difficult mortgage I ever did because the guy he owned over 100 companies, so I had to get paperwork for 2 years and bank statements for 90 days for all of those companies. So it was a lot of paperwork to go through. It took me probably a whole week to figure out how to do his deal.
Man. So that's the longest that you've ever spent on a deal
Uh,
or on a customer?
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, yeah, by far.
And you said it was like 2 years of paperwork that you had, but you could only get it in 90 days?
No, so I had to get 2 years worth of tax returns for him personally, and then we were required for this loan to get 2 years worth of business tax returns for every business, and he had over 100. And then I had to get his most recent 90 days of bank statements for every single one of those 100 businesses.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And yes, I closed the deal.
That's good. That would have been bad if you did all that and then it just didn't work out.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it goes, but I needed all that information to even know if I could do the deal for him. But I'm glad it worked out. I actually did a loan for him 3 different times.
So, like a little bit of that, did you before you started doing all of it, did you think through like what troubles could happen so you didn't like run into those?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You mean for that guy with all
Yeah.
the businesses? Yeah, by the time I got to handle his loan. I'd been doing it for a number of years. So I knew exactly what to look for. I actually got myself in trouble because of the amount of deals that I was doing every month. I became kind of the fixer in the company. So if someone else had a deal that they couldn't get done or they were having trouble on, they would call me and ask me how to fix it, which at times I didn't mind, but when you're really busy trying to get your own work done, you don't have much time for anybody else's stuff. So yeah, I became very good at knowing ahead of time what problems to look out for when helping people.
So since you were so good at that, did you have to like really get good at multitasking for whenever you were doing big deals like that and somebody else like called you like, "Hey, I need help on this. Can you help me?"
Yeah, I mean, like, so that deal, like, I literally, because it was so much paperwork involved, I didn't answer my email or my phone for hours at a time, which made some people mad, but I had to concentrate, right? I, there's no margin for error in something like that. Like, everything has to be exact, precise. But yeah, other deals that were much not smaller maybe in dollar amounts, but where a person just owned one business or they didn't own a business and they just worked for somebody, those were much simpler. So yeah, I could multitask all day long with doing their stuff and other stuff at the same time.
Gotcha. Um, what is your favorite thing about like being able to work from home?
Um, well, I enjoy getting up in the morning and just having to walk down my stairs to sit here at my desk. And just the flexibility, it's allowed me to spend a lot of time with my kids as they grow up and they're around the house, and you know, help my wife out with different things throughout the day. Yeah.
Um, what wait, what challenges has uh what challenges has like your job presented to you? Like how has that like impacted in your life?
Yeah, the job currently working for Grant,
Yeah.
getting as much responsibility as I have. Um, we, I'm responsible for millions of dollars. So being a good steward of that and using that wisely, and then just, I guess, with any job, I've always wanted to do my best. So the natural pressure that you put on yourself to perform, and if I'm honest, a lot of times I have what's called imposter syndrome. Do you know what that is?
Um no.
Okay, imposter syndrome is like when you're doing something but you don't think you're worthy enough or good enough to be able to do it. So you sometimes will have self-doubt.
How do you get through that?
Yeah, just take some deep breaths and remind myself that I'm in the position I am, because they see something in me and they trust me. Uh, and I trust myself to be able to figure it out with enough time.
Um I hope that that doesn't really impact your job so you can keep doing it. Um well, that's almost all my questions. Although it is all my questions. Do you have any more questions for me?
Yeah, what's up with the necklace around your neck? What's that from?
That was from our baseball party after from last season. That was from our baseball end of the year party.
Okay,
And then
cool.
I also have a shark tooth from whenever mom and dad went to Jamaica. They got that, and then I have just a black chain.
Nice, man. I like it.
Thanks.
Do you have any idea what you want to do when you get older?
Insurance, mainly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gonna own your own agency or
Take over dad's.
that a boy? Is that after you're done playing like baseball and stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Do you want to play like college
Probably.
baseball?
Maybe not college, but like probably high school and stuff.
Okay.
You never know though.
You never know. So I got a question for you. Since you're a fisher, a big fishing guy, did
Yeah.
you see did you see those guys who got caught cheating that were putting the weights in the fishes?
Yeah. I saw one from, was that recently or a couple years ago?
Yeah, it might have been within like the last year or two.
I saw one where literally they took him back to the weigh station, and the guy, he was the guy that like the judge basically. He was he like, there were like literally like balls like this big in it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I saw that's the one I'm talking about that I saw.
Yeah. It
How'd that make you
was
feel?
uh you should just be honest and not try to cheat, because then he because they didn't do a very good job at hiding it, and they got caught and they didn't win. So
Nice.
I mean, and they killed those fish,
Yeah.
and those were at least 4 pound bass by themselves. So, and that's just, you don't, if you're not gonna eat it, don't kill it unless you're
Yeah.
gonna use it as bait to get bigger fish to eat. But try to use smaller fish as bait.
You got a favorite type of bait?
Uh, Fake or live?
You tell me.
I really like chatterbaits,
Okay.
um, and like a bunch of like jigs,
Yeah.
top waters, that like they float on the water, and then I like to use night crawlers, waxworms, minnows.
Nice. And you're not afraid to put them on the hook yourself?
No,
That's good. Your sister probably hates that though, huh?
she doesn't go.
Oh.
Maggie doesn't. My younger sister doesn't, but my older sister doesn't um, care about fishing.
Okay.
What?
Do you have any goals for this year?
Um, Catch my PB fish.
Yeah, what's that?
I want to try to top my 5.5 pound bass.
You caught a 5.5 pound bass?
I mean, Dad hooked it, but he let me reel it in.
Okay. Wow. Did you have it mounted or what'd you do with it?
No, it wasn't our pond, so we threw
Okay.
it back. It was it was our first time there, and we just found it randomly skimming over Google Maps,
Yeah.
and got permission, and like a couple cast in, we just tried one spot. It was actually on a topwater frog. He threw it out there, and then thankfully we were using an ocean pole because I don't know what would happen with the other pole. Um, and he caught it. He was like, come over here, I got one. I got a big one. And reel it in, and uh, used our scale and got him.
That's awesome.
So, and then so that's my PB bass. My PB freshwater overall is a
Yeah.
17-pound carp.
Wow. That must have been quite the fight.
Oh yeah.
Were you tired?
Nah. I mean, I was tired because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, but that was one of the biggest fights I've ever had besides a barracuda.
Yeah. Wow.
And then my PB catfish is 6 pounds.
Okay.
The one that we caught at Murray. And then my personal best smallest bluegill is probably that big.
Dang. I don't have a PB, but I'll let you guess what my grandpa's PB catfish was.
Where did he fish at?
Caught it in Russia.
Oh, jeez. Like
It was on
800
the
80 pounds.
80 pounds,
no bigger,
130,
bigger.
250.
It was like two something.
Jeez.
He was 5'10", and the catfish was as tall as him.
That's crazy.
Have you seen the alligator gar videos of them fishing in the Trinity in Texas?
No,
They're catching this guy. He went out. They just use a common carp, cut it up. I mean, pieces that big, like
Yeah.
4 inches by 5 inches. And then they just throw on a little circle hook and throw it out there. And then they just wait for it to pull like almost all their line. Then
Okay.
they just set their drag and jerk it as hard as they can. This guy is trying to set the world record. The world record was 8'3". He caught it 8'2".
That's a gar alligator.
Alligator gar.
All right, I'm gonna look that up. That sounds
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah. Well, this is one of my longest ones yet.
Yeah.
Fishing. It's been 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. We're gonna do my little ending. The way that we do it is I say SMC out, and then we do nuts to the camera.
Okay.
So let's go over here. All right. Thank you for being on here. Could you stay on here for a couple more minutes after? All right. 3, 2, 1. SMC out.
SMC out.